Paul gave me a shout out. Thank you, Paul Weber.
He gave the Honey Badger a shout out.
Honey Badger ain't care.
What's going on, everyone? ZZP Power Hour.
Hey, can you turn your mains down there, Skid
Oh.
Row?
Why is mine loud?
I don't know.
All right, give us a second to dial this in.
Just so you guys
Mine's gotta
know,
go down.
there's going to be some white noise because the AC broke.
Why does it got to be white noise?
There he is.
I don't make the names, Ryan.
Boys, it is hot.
It's white noise because it's annoying and no one likes
what
it.
in the world are we doing?
Yep.
Yeah. AC broke up here, and this is the highest point in the building.
Oh,
Science.
It's cooking.
I'm a tiny boy and I'm still.
So there's a little bit of fan noise. Let it be.
I'm not a tiny boy. I'm a furry boy.
You heard it here first. Al's a furry.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's your exact words.
That's not what I said.
That's exactly what you said.
Tyler brought his show and tell.
You need some
What?
cafe?
Is this
I brought
freaking...
some show and tell.
It's like
Show
not
and
working.
tell.
Or maybe it's just down because you know it's me. I don't know.
All right.
There we go.
Whoa,
Whoa.
gee whiz.
Welcome to the chat.
The chat?
Welcome to the
Yeah, this is
podcast?
the chat, right?
Yeah, we
It's
just
supposed to be a
kinda
podcast?
chat.
Hey, Charlie's in here. What's happening, man?
Who's Charlie?
Who?
There's a he came all the way from Ann Arbor to come out to the spectator drags to race with us.
Oh,
He's
really?
got a LTG Camaro. Friggin'
cool.
coolest dude I've ever met.
Excuse
Wow.
me, I'm right here.
Wow.
Outside
Wow.
of people here
Wow.
and my,
No, no,
and
no,
my
no.
wife.
No. You said what you said. Now you got to own it.
You
You
can't-
said the coolest person you've ever met.
Yeah, he's
I'm
okay.
telling
He's
I'm telling
honest.
Erica.
He's pretty up there.
I'm telling Erica. I'm
All right.
telling me too.
So what are we talking about today,
I
boys?
don't know.
Today we're talking about coilovers.
Coilovers.
Kabam.
I thought suspension, not just
Boom.
coilovers. What?
Well,
Specifically coilovers.
coilovers are
What?
pretty sweet.
I'm still focused on this heat.
Yeah, it's pretty hot. So this bad boy here is a prototype, unreleased, untested version of our ZZP coilovers for a market that we previously have not gone into.
We might need to move some beers off the table because
Yeah, like,
coilover.
all you alcoholics, we can't even see anything.
Beers are important, but
Wanted to show Jeff that I found
We
Corona.
probably should have left those in the fridge because they're probably going to be.
yeah, these are going to get real hot, real
That's
fast.
why I got koozie on one and I'll shotgun these two.
Well, see,
So,
I don't drink pea water, so I'm
if
good.
if anybody in the chat can guess what model car this is for, they get a $25 gift card
Oh.
to ZZP from me.
Oh, hot boy.
So,
dude,
And guess which corner it goes on.
ooh, if you can guess which corner it goes on, that's an extra $10. I'm giving,
$35 in store credit.
giving away free money here if
Damn.
you can guess what
Nope.
this is for.
It's not a Kappa coilover.
It is not a Kappa coilover. If you missed it, I said a market that we previously have
Yes.
not gone into.
See? Corona. That's all I wanted
Oh,
to say.
Shane Hatfield.
Oh, mother! Damn it, Shane!
How?
He's still waiting on his $100 raise, too.
Okay. Well, that ruined all the fun.
5.3 seconds. Before somebody else does.
Jeep XJ, they should also fit that.
Yeah, yep, they should
my
fit
God.
Jeep. Okay,
Oh,
well,
Although
that's
Jeff
hilarious.
McGovern got
Hey,
rear.
time to
Yeah,
type that
he
out
did.
For people in the chat.
all right. So,
Okay, you're gonna have to take Tyler down on my headphones a little more.
or I'll get back
No,
farther
you
here.
do your normal thing.
All right,
Let
all right.
Trevor do his job.
Okay, so Shane Hatfield,
$35 in store credit. You said it.
$35 in store credit. I will also give $35 in store credit to Jeff because he guessed Tesla at
Oh, yeah.
what I presume would be the same time, and it is a rear. So the stock Model 3s use a divorce setup like the Cobalts do. There is enough room in the rear to do an integrated, which is superior, saves you weight, which then can also move into other products because we're getting rid of that spring perch. So, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Teslas. Yep, we got one.
They're
Science.
fast.
It's
Batteries.
freaking rowdy.
Like, you guys don't understand how
Yeah.
stupid fast those cars are.
Y'all gonna learn. You pull up to a stoplight with one of those Model 3s, even the basic Model 3. Y'all gonna learn today.
Yeah, well, we have a
Underestimated.
basic one.
No, we don't. That's
No.
not the basic
Well,
one.
it's
It's the basic model.
the top of the base model.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Trevor, am I too
it's
low
a different
now?
car. No, so
I can't
when
hear
I say
myself.
base
Good.
model, like so we have a Model 3 Performance.
Try
If you
that.
get like a
Yeah.
normal
Any
Model
better?
3, the non-performance ones, those have different power levels and different 0 to 60 and
Right.
stuff like that. So even if you run
I don't
into
know.
one
Am I
of
good now?
those
Yeah, I
at a
feel like I'm good
stoplight,
now.
that's
Yep.
bad times.
Yeah.
That's real bad times.
That was almost a little.
Paul
even
Weber.
the Duke models are still fast.
Yep.
Paul Weber, we have Sonic coilovers in production. They should be fall. So unfortunately, this is not it, but we do have those. We have a couple test sets. They're great. Ashley loves them. Travis Traub, we have Kappa ones in production as well. So
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Yeah, the Kappa ones are awesome.
We're slowly working on doing more Kappa stuff. It's just a matter of manpower.
Bone Daddy Slaps, you gonna subscribe because we like to go fast?
Yeah.
There's new fast stuff out there. What?
Yep.
Hey, they're rad, man. Whoever freaking Cobalt, he already knows.
Yep.
Our buddy Jeff Gordon already knows.
Jeff
they're
Gordon
rad.
already knows.
Jeff,
Oh.
He's all about going fast. So
yeah, and turning corners. He's a
Yep.
good man.
Speaking of, Jeff will love to hear this. We went to an autocross
yeah.
These guys did.
Wednesday.
2 days ago, yeah.
Yep.
And we brought out one of our little Teslas.
Oh yeah, yeah. So video next week, you
Yeah.
guys will see. There's no match for electricity apparently. So, Beans and Herney, the Plaid just went 908 in the quarter the other day, which is absolutely insane.
Bonkers.
Yeah, just nuts.
Bonk.
Kappa coilovers, yes.
Yep,
As Tyler mentioned, those will be out this summer.
yep.
So-
Kappas are coming. Sound. Kyle Forbes says sound. I don't know
Sound?
what that means.
I mean,
I don't
think
believe him.
he's asking about if Teslas make sound. No,
Oh.
that's. I hope, buddy, Kyle. I hope you're not making the same old tire joke. That's about as old as it's not a Super, it's a BMW. That's about as old as that joke.
Actually,
That's
it
pretty
is
old
funny.
joke.
You put the Tesla in reverse and it goes.
Yeah, it makes dang
It-
spaceship.
yeah,
noise.
it's like a
sounds like a
Jetsons car.
UFO. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so weird.
it's crazy.
I
Alright,
wouldn't
guys.
be
You're quiet,
surprised
Eric.
if that's not even necessary. They just programmed it in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
If any of you guys in the chat have suspension questions, as I see Ryan just said,
Yep.
keep them coming. We're kind of open book
Yeah.
this whole podcast
So-
talking about
Well,
suspension.
how about this? Let's
Suspension's cool.
let's
How
kind of
all
give
of
a
our
bit of a
podcasts go.
let's probably kind of give a bit of like an intro, like suspension wise, like in fact, just to kind of get the kind of blood flowing. coilovers. Why are they important? What do
Yep.
they do? What do they offer
Yep.
over just a normal spring combo setup from that?
Do you want to start, Tyler, with a breakdown of what all the parts are
Yeah.
of a coilover?
Yeah,
Because
so
I know a lot of people don't actually know.
Can we just stop for a moment and clarify that there's a difference between the technical definition of a coilover and the industry
Okay.
standard definition?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Because that's always annoyed me.
Cold air
Al
intake.
likes to get annoyed by weird stuff. So everyone, technically, almost every stock suspension part is
Like a
technically a
McPherson
coilover.
strut.
Yeah.
McPherson strut or Bilstein strut, etc. Those are all still technically coilovers.
Yes.
However, when you say coilover to a person that's in the industry, that's
Yeah.
in the performance cars, things like that, they will not consider a stock strut and spring combo a coilover.
Yep.
What we're referring to is something that is very adjustable.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a very adjustable coilover is what the general car person just simply calls coilover.
yeah. So McPherson strut style suspension is and has been pretty much the industry standard for any GM car for the last 25 years. So, like, old Hondas had double A arms and, all sorts of different things. But basically, it's a strut and a spring on the same unit with a top hat bolting it down. So, a coilover is similar fashion. You have your damper or strut inside.
Shock.
Yeah, shock went in this. And then the spring around it. But with a coilover or aftermarket coilover suspension, you get a bunch of adjustability. So obviously, the big gain for a lot of people is you can adjust your ride height.
Well, the big potential gain is that you can tune suspension in.
Yes.
But most people are just like, yeah,
Slam it on his nuts.
Slam it on his nuts.
Fuck yeah.
And
Well,
you know, that's
you-
cool.
You
You
also,
can slam it on your nuts.
Yeah. I mean, you also have, things like camber adjustment, other things like that to really dial in your suspension more than you could with a typical, say,
Yeah.
what we use McPherson strut just to keep things in two different categories.
But
Yeah.
it's funny that, like, the original purpose of these aftermarket fully adjustable coilovers was so that you can change your ride height
Thanks, Dog Dude.
and still have everything set up correctly.
Mhm.
But most people, all they do is just set the height and go, and then complain that the car rides like a shopping cart.
Yep.
But, and we're even still learning about this. I mean, we learn things every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as hard as you would think to actually set them up properly. Yeah, it takes a little more time, but it makes a huge difference in
Agreed.
the ride quality.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, I kind of like Trevor's idea. Tyler, why don't you kind of hold it up and kind of explain the different parts of a coilover to
Yeah,
everyone?
so this one being a rear and a Tesla model is slightly different than, so say you look at a Cobalt one, it's going to be similar. You have your bottom mount, you have your top mount, and then spring, strut, or shock, and then your collars that adjust everything. So on, say, a Cobalt or Grand Prix, you're going to have a top plate that you can adjust camber on, which is big.
Yep.
Most stock suspension, you have no camber adjustment whatsoever outside of maybe camber bolts. So you can gain, 3 degrees in both directions of camber up top. And then on our Cobalt ones, one of the bottom mounts is slotted as well, so you can have even more adjustment there.
And what is inside of the coilover?
Yeah, so inside the
Magic.
coilover, you have a bunch of magic, but
PF.
basically you have what is a shock that extends, in this one quite a bit far down. That's going to be your full travel, and your coil spring is going to limit where that is in relation to where you set it for your compression and rebound. So all of our coilovers, they're an entry-level model that rides well, and it
my markers go?
it has
Right behind the whiteboard.
damping adjustment up here. You can go
I'll be right back.
32 clicks, hard to soft, either way. But basically, it lets you dial in what you want to do with them.
Hashtag Al drops kids.
Yep.
God dang it.
Yeah, so like what Jeff is saying here in the chat, his ZZP coilovers that he's testing for us have a stiffer spring rate, but they've been valved for that stiffer spring rate. And that's one of the big things with ours that I've made sure that the quality has been good, is they're valved for the springs that are on them.
Yep.
A lot of people will get an entry-level BC that comes with 6K springs, which that's the spring rate, and then they'll slap 14K springs on them
Yep.
and be like, oh, this rides like shit. Well, yeah.
Yes. And there's also kind of just to kind of piggyback off of what Tyler was saying. There's that's super common. They make it real low, and someone on the internet told me that I need this spring rate.
Mhm.
So that spring rate, if the coilover is not, or continue to say coilover is not valved for it, you're going to have a harsher ride. You're like, literally, you will bounce in the car will never bounce itself, and it'll handle like crap. And then you lose your ride quality, you lose pretty much everything that makes the coilover such a good purchase.
Yep.
You do not have to settle for a super poor quality ride when you have the coilovers. Again, a lot of them are adjustable for dampening and other things like that too.
Yep.
So you can have a properly set up coilover that doesn't ride super good.
Yeah.
Or that doesn't ride super awful. I myself, in the beginning, I oversprung rate the Snowball, and that was still bad, even if they were perfectly valved for it.
Yeah.
But it's like sometimes people think that the higher the number you have, the better it'll handle. Not
No.
true.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Like
No,
our
you don't want to be bouncing around everywhere. Like,
our Cobalt ones are going to come out initially with 6K springs, and a lot of people have asked me like, oh well, why don't you bump them up for this car and this car? And
Because we don't want it to ride like a shopping cart.
because it's been valved for those springs.
Correct.
yeah.
And a 6K spring is still quite stiff.
That's a very stiff spring.
you
In
know.
a very light car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, spring rate is how much the spring moves when exerted a certain amount of force onto it over a certain distance. So, basically, a 6K compared to a 14 means you're going to have to put more than double the effort into it to
Yep.
move it X amount of millimeters, inches, whatever you're measuring by. But there are one of the biggest things you get from coilovers too is weight savings,
Yep.
adjustability like we talked about, and you can also gain a ton of wheel and tire clearance.
Yep. Car
Th-
depending.
Because McPherson strut and stock coil springs are huge. So
Yep.
you shrink that down, there you go.
Big spring cup, big isolator, all
Yep.
that stuff. So,
All
all
right.
right, guys. Here's
And weight.
here's the masterclass version. Al is going to hopefully condense it a bit for you.
This is a very condensed version.
Go ahead.
My awesome.
Do you want to
drawing
adjust
skill.
the camera quick, Eric, or can you see it pretty good? Pretty well.
It's not a real high tech drawing if they can see it at all.
Rotate it a little bit toward the other direction. Light's kind of bouncing off it.
That better?
A little bit.
Here, more this way. There you go.
That's all we got.
There we go. Yeah, that looks good.
Good
I can
enough?
see it there.
Okay. So when they were just talking about valving in here, this is a very, very generic version of what is actually happening inside of that shock. So here's the rod that where the spring goes around.
Time
Yep.
to hold it up
That
and point at it.
has the gray boot over it.
It's in there. You probably can't see it, but
And then the body in the bottom is this part here. And then on the end of the rod, there's a disc that seals to the inside of the body, and it has holes in it. And those are your valves. And then this whole thing has oil in it. And the way they stop the car from bouncing, like if you just take a normal spring and you slap the car, it'll just sit there and bounce until it stops.
Yep.
Well, what this does, and why your car doesn't just bounce when it hits a bump, is it takes a lot of force to shove the oil through these holes, and that's what absorbs the shock of the car bouncing. Shock absorber.
Some other companies use something different, or like I think I know Fortunato uses specific
Well,
proprietary made thing or whatever.
you can have different weights of oil just like a engine.
Yeah.
So, for example, Jeff's coilovers, because he is out there racing and he is going to have more compression and rebound than most would see just driving around the street, it's thicker oil. So, makes up for a different spring rate.
Harder to push.
Yeah.
Harder to push.
Yep.
But you've got at the top on most coilovers, you have a damping adjustment, and what I believe that does is change the size of the orifices at that piston down in the bottom.
I've
So,
never cut one open,
Yeah,
but
I
that
know-
makes sense.
I know Randy Schmandy has.
Oh yeah, Randy Schmandy could do a legit masterclass on this.
Yeah, he could do a master class. We should get him back up here.
Yep.
He keeps talking about it.
Ah, I'd love to have him back.
Randy talked that game, but if he hears me say, he's gonna come here and talk shit about me. But I'm just gonna kind of jump in there and get some questions in here.
Yeah, we got one question that scrolled too far. I want to quick get.
Yeah, go for it.
Springs we recommend for rear of an HHR. I assume he means like he's just doing lowering springs and shocks.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, I would say our ZZPerformance springs do pretty well. They're more so aimed for the Cobalt. The HHR can work because obviously a little bit heavier of a car. They work fairly well with them.
Yeah.
Just know you are going to get involved with a lowering spring, so it does have lowering springs. So again, this actually kind of segues actually to something good. Lowering springs. So remember, your stock McPherson strut. We're just going to say that, just keep it in 2 categories. Your stock McPherson strut is made to valved for a very specific spring rate itself too.
Yeah.
That's the same one. So when we are changing our springs, making the car so we're just using lowering springs, you are going to sacrifice ride quality specifically for that same reason.
Yeah,
it's the same thing as changing a coilover that isn't valved for that.
It's usually tolerable, but it is
depends.
a sacrifice that you're going to make.
Yeah.
Brand-wise, depending. Like I remember I had H&R lowering springs on my car at one point in time, and those things rode awful. Some people get, also the amount that it's lowered to it, like all that stuff does impact it. Also,
you're changing a lot of variables on a strut that's based around a certain spring rate. So, the engineers at GM or whoever put that together to say, okay, this is going to travel this X amount, and it's going to sit at this droop, and so
Hell drops kids part 2.
Jesus.
There's quite a bit that goes into it.
His
But
drag racing question is decent though.
yeah,
Because there's lots of places you can go read online about how to set them up. We kind of did, but I'm specifically talking about Tyler and I with the Sonic. We kind of just put blinders on and figured it out ourselves.
Yep.
It's not necessarily the quickest way to get to the best answer, but we learned a lot by doing it that way. Because we were able to see how the car launched, how the tires handled the launch, the weight transfer, how well it hooked, and what ended up working the best for that car was setting, because that one has BCs.
Yep.
That was before we had our
our proprietary ones.
proprietary ones, and so it's off-the-shelf BCs. Are they the normal off-the-shelf spring rates?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
totally off the shelf.
And we ended up running the dampers full stiff in the rear and full soft in the front. And that just happened to be what that car liked the best and what gave us the best 60-foot times.
Yep.
Yeah, so on a front-wheel drive car, it's all about transferring energy. So people have watched our Sonic videos, and they're like, why the hell do you have a wheelie bar on the back of a front-wheel drive car? Well, 2 reasons. One, it extends the wheelbase, which helps immensely. But 2 is you're controlling that squat. So if you're going to launch and you drop the clutch in first and all the weight shifts to the back, it's going to bring those front tires up. You're going to spin.
Off the tires.
So you set your rear coilovers, you set the dampening to full high. That's going to keep the amount of force that it takes to push the back down higher than the front. So the back, now it still squats on the spring rates we have.
Slower.
It squats slower, and it keeps
takes-
everything up front.
It takes more force to get it to actually do what it needs to do.
So coilovers by themselves can be a huge advantage for a total drag car.
And my theory on, because
And
at
they
first we
usually
ran.
weigh 5 to 10 pounds lighter.
Yeah, there was
per
also
corner.
weight savings
Yeah.
by doing that.
Yeah.
Our Grand Prix ones save, I think, 25 pounds
That's
over a stock
significant.
setup.
But we were running front and rear full stiff. And then I think it was, actually might have been Randy that pointed out some of the slow-mo videos of launching and watching the sidewall of the slick. And we found that, and in hindsight, this seems kind of obvious, but there's so much sidewall on those slicks that there was a lot of bounce going on. And the only thing that could take it was the sidewall of the tire.
So you don't feel it in the car.
Right,
but
so we were
yeah.
getting a lot of bounce and not getting a good consistent wrinkle out of the sidewalls. And once we took the front shocks to full soft, then the suspension was able to absorb some of that bounce, so that the sidewall of the slick could actually do its job.
And that's just kind of the beauty of coilovers and kind of figuring it out for your setup. So
Yeah, because they let you adjust things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
And people have personal preferences, too.
exactly.
Like,
So and that's kind of what I was going to segue
Got you,
to
Connor.
in general, because
We'll get to you,
Yeah.
Angeline.
guys, keep that one because that's actually a good one. But every setup is different. Your car, your setup, what you're doing with it, all those things really, your tire, your wheels, everything really matters. Like there is no one way across. There's a basic way you can get it, but to really dial in your suspension, depending on what you're doing, it does vary a lot. I'm going to set the Snowball up much different than Trevor for drifting is going to set up his cap up. It's going to be different than what Al will set up his Ion for, and much different than what the Camaro set up for.
Yeah.
All those cars, granted, some of them do the same things, but they will all be set up completely different, maybe different spring rates, maybe the same
Yeah.
spring rates, but the weight of the car, how the car's weight bias.
The way you like to drive,
The way you
say
like
say
to
you're
drive.
on a road course, you can change the damping front to rear and get more oversteer.
Yep.
You know? It's-
Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I start full soft on all my coilovers all the time.
Yeah.
And then if I need less
Start
grip in
down
the
and back
front or
up.
rear, I can adjust on the fly.
Yeah,
Yep.
and your drift car is going to need more travel on the suspension because
Mhm.
you're pulling tires and all that, and so
Yep.
And then the other
trying
offhand
not
beauty
to
of
pull
it
tire.
is some guys that are more particular than others can do a road course day,
Mhm.
pull into the pits, 2 seconds, crank them all to soft, and drive home.
Yep.
Or even,
Yeah.
and our buddy Jeff once again has said it. We're glad you're here, man. Just to bring up another point, it depends on the track you're on too. If the track, like
Yeah.
the track and your tire and
Oh,
your
yeah.
tire wear, and then your specific tires and how they're doing, that's also a
If-
huge part of that.
if you
Huge
have
part.
a track that, say you're doing autocross, and you have a track that has a lot of uneven pavement and off-camber turns and drops and
Yep.
dips and like that, you're going to set that up completely different than what you would a nice flat
yeah,
oval
easy
or
like,
something, you know.
even a fast track, you know. And again, just kind of show you. So Tyler, what's the spring rate on the Camaro?
So our ZZP ones are 10K, 10K,
Yeah.
front and rear.
And then for the BCs, they're like 8K, 13K.
6K, 12K.
Yeah. So then again, then the offshore BCs are 6K, 7K, and like you have a bunch of different ones depending on how the coilover set up and a bunch of other things too.
Yeah.
So you know, just
So
as,
the Camaro, just to make sure I heard that right, ours are 1010,
1010.
10
and
square,
the BCs are 612.
612.
612.
Yep.
Wow.
And I might be a little biased, but I've driven on BCs on the Camaro since I had it in
Yep.
2018, and I threw mine on or threw ours on, and at a higher spring rate, it's a more comfortable ride
Well, the other thing
at
with
the same amount of damage.
Camaro, the big thing is the engine weights, because you have 3 different engines coming in that
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
that are V8 to 4-cylinder.
Yeah,
like
it's a
Four,
four,
diff- four different engines.
400
oh,
pound
yeah.
difference.
Yeah,
4, 6, 8 supercharged V8.
Yep.
yeah.
So yeah, no, it's just, you know, we like to. I mean, obviously we're not going to harp on coilovers themselves because obviously a lot more parts to suspension. But you know, coilovers it depends, and then we're even still learning new preloading techniques. I mean, preloading, we can literally have a whole
Yeah.
discussion on preloading. Like,
Oh, it's so many people get it wrong.
yeah,
Like
I mean, hell, for a
big
while-
name shops that specialize in stuff. Like semantics trigger me a lot more than they probably should.
Yeah,
but
that's
when you're really trying to understand something, the terminology used
Very
matters.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so when a shop that you're going to trying to get good information uses a term wrong, it really bothers me.
And most of us have all had coilovers, but we've never made them ourselves.
Yeah,
Right.
So we've run them, and we just trust the company we get them from. Like
Yeah. Yep.
they say
Yep.
to do this, we plug them in,
but now since we're
go
making
on
our
our way.
own,
And now we're like, wait a second.
yeah, now we're
Yeah.
making our own. We're really like diving into it. I mean, guys, I mean,
That's
just,
why I have a whiteboard at my desk so that we do little office master classes every once in a
Yeah.
while.
Yep.
I mean, we even kind of not too short a time ago, pretty a decent long time ago. Like most of people, for instance, I'm sure most of you guys here in the chat are adjusting coilover right by the shock body.
Yep.
Versus what we learned recently is that, Tyler, you want to hold it up and show?
Yeah. So
It's not a spin it and set it.
yeah,
It's a process.
It's a process.
Yep.
You take the spring off. You figure out how much travel you have in the shock, and this is where a lot of people screw up. Is you have a lot more travel.
I guarantee you not maybe 1 or 2 people watching have ever taken the spring off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
set the ride height,
Yep.
and then set the shock body height.
Yeah. So
I did it for the first time in my life like 2 weeks ago. And
yeah.
I've put like 6 cars on coilovers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Until a month ago, I would have just like eyeballed it.
Yep.
But so you're possibly giving up a lot of shock travel.
And that's important. Shock travel is important for handling.
Shock
And
travel
riding.
is it one gives you comfort because if you're riding around on this much travel, you're bottoming out on the bump stop or
Yep.
whatever it may be. But so you take the spring off and then you see how much travel you have, and then it's basically an equation of how much compression versus rebound you want or need.
Yep.
And you set your ride height to that. So
So
if
the
you're
general rule of thumb seems to be 1/3, 2/3.
yep.
So 1/3 droop, 2/3 compression.
Yeah. So, you know, you get it on the car, and now this is going to be different for a lot of people because all they want to do is make it dirt nasty low, and
Yeah.
you would preload the hell out of the spring, and it would ride like shit.
Yeah.
But for somebody who's at a reasonable ride height.
Trevor's grinning because he's been there.
That's I figured it out.
Been
And I was
there.
like,
He's still
"Al,
there."
I finally understand it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna set him up, and I went in the car and I did all the process. Took me like 6 hours, and then I put it back down. And I realized my car is so low that I have like an 1/8 inch of travel, and I was like,
Like
Oh.
Al,
Wait
you
a second.
said he's been there. He's
He's
still
still
there.
there.
He's still there.
He knows how to do it right, and he still won't
But
because he needs
they
to go
don't
lower.
rub anymore.
Yeah.
Good
but-
deal.
Yeah.
It does
Yeah, so
rub.
that's another thing is you don't have to go to a 18K spring to not
Yeah.
rub.
Yeah.
You
really
just
don't.
set 'em
my
up correctly.
Bump stop up.
They're not going to ride great, but if you want fender to lip fitment, you can do it on what you have.
Yep.
So, if you guys want a more in-depth way of setting them up, reach out with email. We'll tell you.
Maybe we should do an install bay
Yeah,
video
we
on
should.
that.
we probably
Yeah, we
should.
should probably just do like an install,
Yeah.
a BC or.
Well, that's
ooh,
where I
ZZP
made the
coilover
realization.
install.
Yeah, we're
that-
still getting used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your tire sidewall angle and wheel specs are so much more important
Yes.
because
Mm-hmm.
you could have a fender to lip fitment, and as long as you're cambering in and going up, you can still have your inch of
Yeah.
Yeah, you
compression.
got- Yep.
Where I can't because mine just hits my fender.
Yeah, if you got
But-
meaty boy tires and they're going to ram into
Yeah.
the fender, but if you're
Then you get rid of the fender.
Yeah, then you get rid of the
wow,
fender.
That's what I
Jesus.
did. Yep.
And please remember too, Trevor has a drift car, so his front tires stick out pretty far and stuff like that. So again,
yeah.
application. Quickly, I do want to get to some of the questions. Like Tyler, you point out Angeline's question.
Yeah,
Oh,
go
yeah.
Yeah,
ahead.
Angeline. So, Redline coilovers for anybody who's interested should be here middle of fall, totally done, ready to ship out to you guys. So she brings up a good point. The ion shock tower is sealed.
Yeah,
You
because the engineer at GM was probably like getting ready to get fired, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna make this the dumbest design I can before I go out the door."
Yeah. So instead of having a circle hole available,
Yep.
inspection hole or whatever, it's one stud up through the center, and then another weird second stud that kind of
Yeah.
holds it in place, I guess.
Which,
but anyway,
a lot of cars, the rears are like that, where
Yeah.
you can't get to the top, like this one, for example.
Yeah.
And we have this special, I don't know if you guys can see this, but
the damper adjustment up there.
this is actually the adjuster just like built into it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, with ions, that's been a
It's
the problem.
the infamous top hat design.
The problem has been that no one makes a coilover, and now we're gonna make a coilover for you guys. I'm sorry it took 21 years, but we're here to do something.
The springs upside down.
yes, cone bolt. For racers, by racers.
Yep.
I like
yeah.
that.
But so with that problem, you obviously can adjust camber at the top. You can't adjust damping at the top. So what we have done for our production ones are the camber is adjustable down at the knuckle. So like Jeff was saying, he has
Four and a
negative
half, I
4.5
Yeah.
degrees,
Holy cow!
and he can go. He said about another 2 further
Wow.
on the Cobalt ones. So the
Right.
Cobalt ones have the top hat, but the slot is large enough in the bottom where you'll be able to get at least a couple degrees, and then if you use a camber bolt, you can get a little more.
Ooh, that's
So-
pretty impressive.
Yeah,
That's,
that's pretty cool.
I think that's a degree more than my Sky.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, camber's adjustable down at the knuckle. For damping adjusting, we have a cool trick top hat that will be included with all of them that you won't have to worry about taking anything apart.
Yeah.
We got the adjuster that'll drop right in, and you just
ZZP special sauce.
give it.
I
some
should
clicks.
warn people ahead of time, though. I'm guilty of it myself, and I've seen other people do it. If you have an ion and you're putting the strut assembly back in, you do not have to go full breaker bar Hulk on that one bolt
No,
that
don't.
holds this assembly in.
Don't get
the
it-
weight of the car holds it there. That bolt and nut is just to hold the stuff in place when you jack the car up.
Yeah,
Please
don't put
don't
your
snap these studs off.
don't put your Milwaukee fuel half-inch impact on the top
No.
and go clink,
Yeah.
because it'll break off. But yeah, so we got solutions for you guys.
Correct, Angeline. The top hats don't go away.
They
We
do not go
just
away.
Make a little adjuster hole.
Yeah, a little something. Let's see. So after seeing them on Cobalt, why the DB-shaped lower rear mount instead of conventional mounting?
Ooh.
DB.
I think he's talking about the offset mounting.
Douchebag.
How the
Oh,
perch is
in the rear.
Yes.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
I think so.
I'm
That sounds
super.
like-
Well, hopefully, Ed, that's what you're talking about. Oh, so
This is a lucky design that we're able to do because the Cobalt uses a divorce style in the rear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So normally, say this is the bottom of whatever rear you have. This is where it ends, and your shock travel isn't this because that's just your mount.
Yep.
Where the Cobalt ones are like here.
So actually, the other side is a better look at it. So this shock here is X length, and then theoretically, if you were to go low enough, this shock would run into the bottom of this mount, and that's how BC and all the other coilover manufacturers have done their rear mounts. The downfall of that is once you go low enough, your shock is bottomed out.
Yep.
So as you preload that shock to get your spring touching, you are losing all of that ride.
Yeah.
Either that, or if you set them up wrong and the shock comes down, your spring's going to rattle around and clunk and rattle.
Yep.
So what we did,
Yeah. Before they get too warm.
on the bottom mount of the Cobalt is rather than a cup style, it's a offset straight through on the bottom mount. So
I wish we had a.
I know.
Example.
Oh
one
wait,
Here.
I have a whiteboard.
My man's got a whiteboard over here. So instead of doing the cup style, what we did was an offset straight through bottom mount. And I know we're going to get a lot of shit for it, but it's...
Because it's new. People haven't
Yeah,
seen
it's new.
it.
People haven't seen it. So people are going to look at it and go, oh, well, isn't that fragile? No, you're...
No, because
If
it's
you-
a divorce setup.
Yeah. If you had this entire thing riding on that bottom mount, it could be different.
Yeah.
Because you've got the resistance of the spring.
And the whole weight of the car.
Yeah. In the divorce setup, all you're controlling is that shock, and your bottom mount is staying level. You're just compressing it. So, Ryan Cole, new coilovers worked great on the Camaro.
We see that.
L, have you guys tried KW coilovers for the red line?
I-
I believe you have.
Yes.
Yes, I have them on my car.
Al has them. So with this straight through,
Above the microphones.
Oh, okay.
with this straight through setup, what we can do is run a longer shock, which gives you more travel, better ride quality, all while giving you the ability to go dumb low. And we are actually going to have
All right, I can see the edge of it.
two versions of our Cobalt and Ion coilovers, one for normal people and one for dirt nasty low boys.
Yep.
So you guys get what you want. And
So to explain to you what he was talking about with the D/B shape.
Yep.
Yeah, we can see this here. So let's not to scale. Pretend that is the rear tire of your Delta chassis car.
Yep.
And then the rear beam of the car runs up like that. And then back here, you have your coil spring.
Yep.
And the shock is separate. So the stock ones, the shock bolt hole is right here at the bottom.
Yep.
And that requires some of the space available between where it bolts into the rear beam and where it bolts into the body of the car. So what we did with ours is we moved that mount over here and is welded onto the shock body instead of welded on the bottom, so that we can have a longer overall shock that gives you more travel range, and you can get low,
Yep.
really low,
really low
and still have the same
amount
shock
of travel. Yeah,
as
available.
a standard setup. And since all the weight of the car is on the spring here, and the only force you're getting through here is just the dampening,
Yep.
so far it's worked awesome.
It's worked great.
Yeah.
And I
ask Jeff Gordon there.
Yeah, Jeff
Yeah.
Gordon's running this hard. I've had a lot of miles on my Cobalt.
Mhm.
I think it's one of the biggest breakthroughs for Delta chassis coilovers in a while.
I questioned it myself when
Yeah.
we first came up with the idea, because I didn't know how much force goes through that mount. I didn't know if it was going to work or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
And when you don't know, you take the
question it.
scientific method.
Yeah.
You,
We have
fuck
a-
around and find out.
We
So-
have SolidWorks for it and everything to test it out, and
Yeah,
we did.
the
But we
stress
were like,
test said it was good, but I was still like,
Yeah. We fucked around and we found out
We
that it's
sent
good.
it to one of the dudes that's going to put the most amount of stress on it,
Mm-hmm.
and it worked.
Catch me up. What? What we talking about?
We're still
The
talking about
offset.
offset.
Rear mounts
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
on the Cobalt. So those are going to be huge. You guys are going to love it. You're especially going to love it.
Just imagine being able to go pretty low, and it still rides good.
Whoa, boy.
Ooh, sorry, I
Whoa.
bumped my wire there.
All right, so what you're saying is I can dump it on its nuts.
You can have your cake and eat it too.
Your
I
nuts,
like cake.
your nuts will be in your belly.
Fuck yeah.
So just
you
to
know
give
how
you
much
an
more
idea.
pee you could hold if the nuts
Can
were
you
in
do?
your belly?
Okay.
You can hold a lot
You
of
talk
pee.
about semantics triggering you? Oh my God. Biology, zoology major here. Okay. Ugh.
Oh, we're gonna get to that later.
Oh, please don't.
But yeah, so I put on our so the difference between the regular and the Hot Boy Low versions are going to be obviously a shorter spring in the rear, so shorter spring and a shorter shock, just because the regular length shock is considerably longer than all the other competitors because we have this cool mount, so we can get more travel.
Yep.
But you need a smaller one for the low boy.
Oh yeah.
I put the low boy spring in with the adjuster still on it and the lock rings all the way up on my Cobalt, and I tucked all of the tire on my 18.
Woo!
Wow.
You guys will also be happy to know you can lay frame on the Kappas.
Yep.
With a stock wheel and
All
tire.
right. So, and I'm, you know, I like calling people out. I'll do it in a hot second. All you Ion Redline guys, if y'all don't buy these coilovers, because we're banking a lot on you guys trying to bring some to the
Yeah.
community. Next time we put, ZZP ain't doing nothing for the community. Shut up.
Yeah.
We are literally giving you the option that no
This
one has right now.
was
If
a-
y'all don't buy it,
Very significant investment. We're
Yes.
doing this for
Yeah.
you guys.
yeah. If y'all don't do it, if y'all don't get these, y'all all are fired. I'm
Yep.
gonna talk mad about
I'm-
all
Yep,
you
we're
Ion
gonna block
owners.
all your addresses.
I'm gonna make sure Al isn't on the Ion team anymore. Al is his own thing at that point. Al gets cut off from Team Ion if y'all don't freaking buy that.
So, to answer Angeline's question there, I had Eric expand it out so we could read it. From what I have seen so far with the testing that we've done, yes, I think you will be able to have a nice soft setting
Yep.
that rides very well,
Yep.
drive to the track, adjust your dampening. If you have jacks available there, you could even adjust some of the height, some of the preload, adjust your corner balance a little bit.
Keep your spanner wrenches.
Yep, keep your spanner
I
wrenches.
was gonna say,
and then very easily revert it back to a nice, comfortable stock ride.
I
for
think the
drive
biggest
home.
thing would be the camber adjustment. I would max that out
Yep.
for your autocross and then straighten them back out to save
Well-
your tires on the way home.
Yeah.
Tire and sub dependent. You know, sometimes
Yeah.
you don't want to max.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't
Yeah,
out
yeah.
exactly, but I
But
get
you
what you're
can.
saying.
You can.
Again, Ion guys, this is it. You know, we came for you, we heard you,
Yep.
and we are trying to bring you something.
And I'm making a lot of them for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
y'all better buy
Every
'em.
single Ion Redline on the planet better have a set of ZZP coilovers.
I will, and I feel like I'm doing this a lot, but good on them. Shout out to our 3800 dudes.
I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
understand
We put-
it, but
we
I am
got-
so
we-
grateful for it.
We put our coilovers back in stock the other day,
They're almost sold out again, aren't they?
and we've sold half of them in 5 days.
How many did we sell?
We've sold 28
So yeah, think about that.
Yeah.
in 5 days.
Our first batch that
This
we thought
was
would last us
not
6
even the
months.
first batch.
Yeah.
Second batch, we sold 28 in 5 days.
Yeah.
That's how hard the 3800 guys are still going. I don't get
It's
it.
insane.
Yeah.
You would
I said, I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
I love how much those guys support us,
You would
and there's
think-
some really cool ones out there.
Yeah, you would think that every 3800 on the planet has to be modded now. Like, I don't understand how you go on the road and it's like
We
even a-
still tune 20, 30 of them a
That's what I
week.
don't
Yeah, Bo's so freaking busy tuning these 3800s.
I don't get it. I don't get
I mean, good on you guys.
I know you
Two-
don't have exact prices yet, Tyler, but there's so many questions.
Yeah,
You have
so
ballparks for people.
Pricing.
So at least they can.
I don't make all the decisions, but so
We
to
don't know
give-
what we're gonna run into. and after that,
to give you reference, our 3800 coilovers are 850. The Ion ones will get top hats, and then they do require some additional labor / machining / kitting time. They're gonna come in under $1,000.
Good
So-
deal.
I mean,
Yep.
considering the only ones out there are KWs.
Oh, that
at
that reminds me.
1300.
Someone asked about KWs.
Oh,
I
yeah.
ran those on my car.
Yep.
I liked them for the way I drove the car, but they were not. There's no adjustment on them. I had the KW
Yeah.
V1, so you get the valving that they come with. You get the springs that they come with, and that's it.
So you're telling me we have adjustability.
And they were $12.50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have adjustability, availability, and at a cheaper price point.
Yep.
Mhm.
And they look dope.
And
And
so far,
even if-
they perform better.
Yeah.
And even if, as you say, Iron Red Line orders are cheap. I mean, so are
They
most
are.
of our customers. You
Yeah.
know, unfortunately.
But-
But come on, the cars are getting so cheap.
Yeah, the
You
cars
better
are-
have some money to spend on mods.
Go fast,
Yeah.
not broke. Come on.
Exactly. So I'm calling y'all out. Let's
Yep.
freaking go. I know I'm coming in hot. Quick talk about super quick strut bars, sway bars, things like that. Because I know I've seen quite a few
Yeah.
people just trying to
Strut
touch
bars
them.
are great for zombie weapons.
Phil D, a set. Don't worry, that's not per. That's for the whole set
Yes,
No.
$1,000 per corner.
No, yeah,
ready
per corner, exactly.
to bolt in
Yeah.
and get you the best ride you ever heard.
Yeah, I'll start that off, that
How do
transition,
you
Ryan.
hear a ride?
The
I
strut
meant
bar.
had.
Oh,
We are not
okay.
afraid to admit that strut bars, the newer the car, generally speaking, the
less
less they do.
Yes. Well,
They look cool.
yeah.
And
Okay.
people
so
are about that. So
to give an idea, a strut bar, the point of a strut bar, especially on older vehicles, when you would have the front suspension doing different things all the different times,
Yeah.
like whether you're turning or whatever, and it's doing all sorts of things.
Or you look at like a car like S2000s, I think, where their strut bars are real far
Way
forward.
far. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
where it's like almost a mid-engine setup.
Yeah.
Then it's gonna do.
Yeah,
something
then you're
but-
actually bracing.
Yes.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
and it
So
helps a lot.
you are bracing and connecting the front end to itself.
Yep.
Just like it's an upper sway bar, for lack of a better term, to keep it as simple
Yeah.
as possible. So newer cars like your ATS and Camaro, things like that, a strut bar will still do something. It still does
Yeah,
something.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it is less of a difference than, let's say, a 2002 Grand Prix GTP
Yeah.
versus a new ATS or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So they're going to
Well,
do a little less.
If you look at
Yeah.
the Alpha chassis cars, they have connectors
Braces,
to
yeah.
the firewall.
Yep.
So it does.
I can still see that helping, though, by adding another
Well,
triangulation point.
yeah, the
Correct.
lateral movement.
Yes.
but-
so
But like with Ion, where it's a single bolt and it's 3 inches away from the firewall,
You're not doing much.
it's going to do something.
yep, they always it
Well,
will always do
Ron
something.
Coors
So
Light.
so we're not saying they don't do anything. They definitely 100% do something,
And they still look cool.
and they still look freaking awesome. Why
It
wouldn't
gives
you?
you that nice pop of color.
It's just
Yes.
if you haven't done any suspension mods, we would never recommend to do a strut tower bar
First. It is
when you
however-
could do a rear sway bar.
yeah.
I will
So-
say it is probably the easiest mod to do though.
Yeah.
It's super easy.
Yeah.
You can do it with the car on the ground.
Very easy.
And that's what's nice about them.
Rhett, the filter kits, we're waiting on filters.
Yeah, we're getting sweet
I'm sorry.
ZZP, nice looking units, and they're coming.
Yep.
One of the ways that we keep the pricing at the point that it keeps customers happy is by buying in extremely large quantities. And when you buy in extremely large quantity,
Things take
They have
time.
to
takes
make
them
that.
a long time to make them.
Yeah.
That's how we keep our prices low, guys. So, that's something that I know, like, I get at least 3,857 calls a day about, when are you coming to this back in stock? You guys have been on stock forever. Well, this is what happens, especially to make everyone aware, too. This is just from a CS standpoint. I get asked questions a lot. There's still a material shortage. There's still a very
Yeah.
big material shortage.
Yep.
Yes.
We-
that's a very good point. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes.
And that is affecting not only auto industry, but
Everywhere.
every single industry.
Like
Again-
we're talking like wood, paper, plastic, metal, like
Yeah.
Yes.
raw material
Do you
shortage.
guys-
That's the very basic building
Yeah.
blocks. Everyone is backed up
Do
right
you
now.
do you understand how long I waited for that dang freaking sectional? Do we have to go back
Yeah.
to that sectional?
No, my
Exactly.
yeah, going back to that, but my buddy who owns a retail steel yard, their stainless pricing is up 300%.
Yeah, you can't get it.
that ain't
Surprise-
crap compared to 2x4s.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Gold
But,
is
like-
2x4s right now.
Year over year, stainless is up 300%. I think aluminized tubing is up 2.5. Yeah, like
It's all that
it's
stuff. so
crazy, and
I-
it's you call up the place and they're like, oh, well, yeah,
Everybody
we
wants
don't
it.
have any.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
guys,
3 to
Sorry.
4 weeks. Sorry.
yeah, guys. Oh, Jeff, awesome. But
All
yeah,
right, guys.
so I definitely just want to bring that up really quick. So please be patient. We're doing our best to still give to this hobby, this lifestyle that we all
Hashtag Ryan
enjoy.
Sectional.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Jeff remembers.
So, guys, just remember that, again, even other people's, everything is done. It's something that, sorry, tangent rant.
Yeah, you're
Some
good.
customers like, well, like on a thread I was getting in the other day, it was like, we answer some 100 emails, almost daily, this and that. It was like, oh, well, my company answers with, 3 employees. We answer 5,000. Well, good for you. Out there is technical and all the other stuff. But we're doing the best we can for you guys.
And these people who, attend the podcast, I think are
Yes.
more on our side, I guess
Yeah,
you
we
could
love
say.
you guys. That's
We
why
do
we
love
do it
you
every
guys.
week.
Yes.
But some people, you really would never understand our company until you get in here.
Yeah.
And
heck no.
how
Yeah.
I don't even know how to explain it to people.
It's not. Well,
I don't want to sound braggy, but how big we are now.
Yes.
Like the volume of orders and work orders and just everything that we have. And people are like, oh, you guys didn't get back to me in 2.5 seconds.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think it's braggy. I think people
Yeah.
People think that we're
people
like.
aren't here. They
We're
don't realize
running
that we
a
have like 50 employees.
Corporate-sized business with small business
40 people. Yeah.
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 We're not here on the weekends.
Most other companies that do the revenue we do have 2 or 3 times the employees.
Yeah.
No, more accurately, it's 10 times. Summit Racing, we got to say their average wait time for getting back to emails is 3 to 5 days
Wow.
for one email. I have been answering people back within minutes or hours. Today, especially, minutes.
Yeah.
Hashtag
So-
Dixie
But
Cup
I mean,
Sonic.
you have
Yep.
customers, and I'm not necessarily blaming the customers because I understand from their viewpoint what it looks like.
Yeah.
But I'll have people like send me a message on Facebook saying, "Hey, I just put an order in. I want to change blah blah blah. And you take care of that." Like, I literally can't.
No,
Yeah.
you can't.
Like that is not my department.
Yeah.
It's faster for you to email or call
Yep.
than it is for me to go try to figure this out and get something changed for you. I think it's just because largely the social media presence.
Yeah.
Most of our employees are not extremely active on social media.
Yeah.
So when the customers only see a handful of people, they think it's just a handful of people
Yeah.
working
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Well, I think because
No, it's just a handful of us that are in your face and you know us.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, no, they say there's a lot of people behind the scenes. So
So
yeah.
many.
Noah, we are. So what's cool about, the ATS, for instance, we have guys. So the ATS, like, and I don't know this from because he went over there, but
Yeah,
you
that was
can't,
awesome.
you can't get like big displacement engine stuff over there. It's like
Yeah,
ATS
so-
is like the top level car.
China's smog has always been a problem. So what they
Yes.
put into place
You have
is
no idea.
a tax based on engine size. So you go to buy a new car and an ATS comes in a 4-cylinder, a 6-cylinder, and an 8-cylinder. You're paying not $10,000 more for the 8-cylinder. You're paying $100,000
Yep.
more. Like
It's
this is
insane.
not an exaggeration, but I don't know the real numbers. But like,
It's high enough that V8s are almost non-existent.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
the ATS came in an ATS L over
Yep.
there,
Basically,
which is a pretty
ATS
cool
long.
car.
Yeah, it's
Longer
the ATS,
wheelbase.
Long wheelbase.
so almost a CTS, but extremely popular over
Yep.
there. Like that's the new mod car over there,
That is the mod car.
and
We sell to them.
yeah. So
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No. Jump
So
in first.
we have a partner over there, not HB Tuners, HZ Tuning and Lungai. It's one company, but now many of you may think partner. Oh well, that's where you make all your parts.
No,
they have
Shut up.
Have you
They-
not seen our shop?
They
Yeah.
have absolutely nothing to do with the parts that we make. When HZ Tuning or Lungai places an order through us, we take parts from our warehouse, which is right down there.
Right here.
We ship them to China, and then Matt does all of the tuning on them.
Yeah, and
For
at least
hundreds
as of the
of
time.
customers.
So Tim and I, for those of you guys that don't know, HC and Lungai flew Tim and I out there so that we could tune a bunch of cars to get ready for a big race event that they had out there. One of the coolest things I've ever done in my life, to be in Shanghai for 10 days. So HZ and Lungai are the only authorized people to sell
Yep.
ZZP parts in the entire country of China.
Yeah.
Yep.
And as of that time, I think they had 12 sub-distributors underneath them.
Yeah,
And
Crazy.
they're spread out over the entire country, which is huge.
which is like
And-
what, 2 billion people?
It's gigantic.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So the heads of those sub-companies all came to Shanghai while Tim and I were there. So we got to meet all of the sub-distributors.
Yeah.
I
What
don't
better
even know how to
example
put
of
into
an
words how
American
awesome.
descent than Al?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Like, I know I'm a kind of big guy, but in China,
Huge.
I was huge.
Huge.
And also, in
Huge.
China, it is not rude to stare.
Yeah.
So
you can stare
everywhere
at
we
anybody.
went, people were, like, I'm walking by and people are just,
Like, they're like, listen here, you big American hairy little bitch.
and then Nick took me to the gym in China. That was a lot of fun. I got
Oh,
to be a
boy.
hero for a day.
I'm gonna grab that question. It just went away, and I'll
Yep.
forget about it. ZZP hydro shields. Those will be ready soon.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't
we're
even
gonna
know about that
have
either.
basically the same.
the little sock things that everyone
Yeah,
thinks they
the
need.
the same thing as a hydro shield for your ZZP intake. What you should have is a fender liner.
Yeah.
But if you don't, or whatever,
And you want to go scuba diving with
Or
your car.
in Dylan's case, maybe you should have a bumper.
yeah, put a bumper on, Dylan, please. I love your car. I just need to see it with a bumper.
Dylan, I swear to God, if
Uh,
you don't put a bumper on that damn thing, I'm going to come and hit the shit out of that stealth heat
It'd
exchange.
trap faster if you had a bumper.
Yep,
Yep.
it would.
Is your sway bar
Aerodynamic.
in the same place your bumper is?
Yeah, what are you doing? So those will be here by the end of the year. Be here on the website. Scully M3. I like that. ZZP coil covers for people in colder climates.
Yes.
I
Those are
think that's an
big
awesome
in
idea.
drifting,
Write it
too.
down.
Yeah,
Because people throw tire crap all over them,
Yep.
and they get gummed up in
gummed
one
up.
event. Yeah.
I like that.
That's
I
a
like
good point.
that.
Yeah, we should do that for the springs, I think.
Anyways,
Kevin Manning, Cruze Sonic coilovers. Sonic coilovers will be ready by the fall.
Cruze,
Cruze.
not so much.
We're working on them, but we don't have a Cruze.
We don't have
so.
a Cruze here, so I
Yep,
would like
sorry.
Al.
JK, love you, man.
you want to rapid fire some overrated, underrated?
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
is it time?
It's already
5
4:50.
minutes.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
We're going to go a little over, guys, but we'll
Oh
try to
my
make
goodness.
it fast
Okay,
for you.
should
Yeah.
we answer this one question about the ATS for our ATS customers?
Yeah,
Super
grab
quick?
it. Go
Last
for it.
question.
Part two question. All-wheel drive ATS road course ride height tips. Whatever tire size and wheel size you're running, you definitely want to have it not right above the tire, but keep it as low as you can without rubbing. And then Chew is it Chew Al only likes to sumo deadlift.
Okay,
and
hold
ride.
up here.
Uh-oh.
Raw, I pull conventional because that's what real men do. But when I compete equipped, the name of the game is pulling the most weight you can. And to get the most out of the equipment, you got to pull sumo in briefs and a suit.
There you go.
It's just how
Yes.
it works. I don't make the rules, but I follow them, so I
Yep.
lift the most weight I can.
Yep,
Ryan Cole, Tyler has them on his car right now, doing some testing, doing some fine tuning on them.
and they feel great. And
They feel great.
I do want to shout out Ryan. So he, for a brief period of time, really hated us, as a lot of people do.
Yep.
We
But-
are pretty abrasive on
We
the
can
surface.
Yeah, we
We
can
can
be,
be.
but
I get it.
we kind of tell it straight up how it is.
We're
and
car people. We like to talk crap.
I like that dude,
just a
especially you're tuning in the podcast. I'd like to meet you one day, Ryan. He's out in Washington.
Yeah, and that's the thing,
That's
guys.
pretty
Once you
far.
actually talk to us, see what we're about, you realize that we're just like you.
We're
nothing
just
to hate.
straight up honest.
And
Yeah.
we live to make your car fast.
Yes.
Like nothing makes me more pumped. Like when I met Charlie the other day and he had a full ZZP build and was so
the
excited
coolest
to
thing
meet,
ever.
like I feel like a celebrity.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just a
crazy.
dude going to work every day, having fun, and that makes my week.
Yeah, we want to do the best we can for you guys.
Yeah,
So-
think about it. We have nothing to gain by making sure your stuff doesn't
Yeah.
work. So again, we're not out like, there's some all sorts of stuff people give you opinions on. It's like I have this one customer, I'm not going to say his name, that I thought was a very good friend of mine. But he listened to other people on the forums that don't like us.
Yep.
And, he got kind of a little special treatment. He could return stuff a little later. We kind of went out of the way. I would answer his questions late at night. But then he got kind of butthurt that was, you don't message me on Messenger all day. I'm like, dude, every time you message me, I message you back and I respond to you. I'm sorry, I'm busy.
Yeah.
But then he got all hurt. But then he's blocked all of us here and all that stuff. But again, whatever. It is what it is. It's his loss, not ours.
He's a weenie.
He's weenie.
On
Ryan, I know you don't hate us. Let's
Yeah,
hit it
yeah.
with overrated, underrated.
We love a lot more of you guys
my
than
last
we hate.
my
so.
last tangent on that,
Yep.
and I just have to get this out there.
All right.
Is that ties right into people thinking that every car we race has some secret special
my
awesome
God.
thing behind it.
Doesn't.
No.
No.
We run the shit that we sell because we want to show you how awesome it is so that you buy it.
We have nothing to
Like-
gain from hiding stuff for people.
My
Zero.
Ion that just finally went down the strip 2 days ago is a straight up off the shelf ZZP race block.
Yep.
Yep.
Nothing special about it whatsoever.
Yep.
and I broke it in on full boost within like 5 miles on the engine, and then I took it to the drag strip, and I banged off the 8,500 RPM limiter.
Yep.
And
I love it.
I'm using our parts
Yep.
to their max potential to show you guys. Take our stuff and do this stuff.
Go have fun.
Please.
Yep.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
want you guys to build cool cars.
There is nothing for us to gain by lying to people.
Yep.
Zero.
Nothing.
I want
Absolutely
to
zero.
show you what our stuff can do. Because if we lie to you and it breaks, then we got to warranty it.
Yeah. Why we want to do
where's
that?
the
Yeah.
advantage?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what people don't think lies good. Okay.
All right,
sorry.
Al, fire it up.
Okay.
We
where
got
are
a
we gonna
rapid
start,
fire.
Eric?
I think I've got Trevor's stuff pulled
All
out
right,
at the moment.
fuck
so.
yeah.
Let me pull up the
boy.
message here so I can get my list together.
Okay,
I'm
guys.
usually the end of this.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
not
no,
ready
this
to
is
be
good.
up front.
That's okay. We'll do Trevor first.
Oh,
I
boy.
apologize, everyone. I'm an opinionated douchebag.
Well,
I will,
You're
I will
not a
continue.
douchebag.
Quick recap for those that aren't familiar, and even if you are familiar, you're going to hear it again. We're playing the game called Overrated, Underrated,
so
originated by
good.
the Massonomics podcast. If you like lifting stuff and podcasts about nothing at all, check out Massonomics. So the rules of the game are I give them a topic, and they have to choose whether it is overrated or underrated. There is no such thing as riding the fence. They can have their druthers about the response. They can take as long or as little as they want to respond. Are you ready, Trevor?
Oh, it's going to be so
I'm
good.
ready.
Number one for Trevor is stick and poke.
What?
Stick and poke.
Stick and poke.
What the fuck is that?
He knows what it is.
If you guys don't know, in a past life, I was a tattoo artist.
Yeah. See?
Oh, show
stick and
him
poke.
me tattoos. Show you can't really see him.
I got a couple.
He
He
did
did those
those
himself.
He did those planes in a frickin' bathroom mirror.
I don't want to take my shirt off right now, but
Yeah, you do.
This guy is so
I
artistic.
do. It's
Y'all don't
real
even
hot.
understand.
Yeah, it's very
Guys,
hot.
he's
Anyways.
also he's just good at drawing stuff and
Stick and
beats.
poke.
Yeah.
Underrated, effective, cheap. It works.
Yeah, that's fair.
Imagine it takes a while.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
what is stick and poke?
Instead of
Like, imagine,
machine with many
uh,
needles,
So a
you
tattoo
get,
gun is an automated thing that like goes in and
Yeah.
out like this, and it
it has like
basically
9 to
spreads ink.
12 or 0. You know.
Okay.
So
0 needles.
in theory, all it is, in simple terms, is one needle. You dip it in ink, and then you poke it in your skin. And if you poke ink in your skin deep enough, it stays there forever. So you can just tattoo yourself with a needle and just kind of like go to town.
What?
Yeah.
But it
That
takes
sounds
Yeah.
awful
a
and terrible.
billion times longer than a tattoo gun.
Why
Yeah.
would
Stick
That-
and poke would be like when someone talks about like a traditional
Yeah.
tattoo, like if they go to
Moana.
Hawaii or, well, yeah, like Moana tattoos.
Yeah.
That's actually a very good
Yeah.
point. There's
Yeah.
one of the early scenes of Moana where they
The
have
first
the
tattoo gun, yeah, it was like a hammer thing.
yeah.
And it was on a lever and a pendulum. And
Yeah.
it
Hey
was
Carter,
kinda-
nice meeting you today, man.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you, dog.
I don't recommend anyone do it because you could actually severely freak yourself up. So
yeah,
don't do that.
do that. Dude,
Jesus.
get ink in your veins.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
so what
no
was
bueno.
your answer?
Underrated.
Underrated.
Underrated. What?
Yeah.
I could see it being underrated just because of the skill that's required to probably do it.
Yeah.
It's a really cool like art.
Why do you guys like pain?
Anyways.
I don't
White
know.
people.
Oh yeah, white people shit. I guess.
Well, that's true.
WPS.
Okay.
All right.
Number two.
Wait,
Let me rattle off the
we-
results.
Oh yeah,
real
I
quick.
forgot.
Facebook, we've got split 50-50.
What?
Overrated, underrated for stick and poke.
All right.
Okay.
And YouTube, we have 58% say overrated.
Mm.
Jeff, I would love to design you a wrap. Let me know if you want me to.
A wrap for
I'd be
his
down.
arm.
Jesus. Well, now Jeff is gonna message you at like whenever he wants to. And now you're gonna
Yep.
do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. Jeff's cool.
Hey, Dad.
Okay. So, oh hi, Dad. Number two.
Wait, where's Dad?
Dad,
Oh,
Robert Vogt.
Oh, hi, Robert Vaughn. Hi, Dad.
And Jess.
And Jess.
Number two for Trevor and Tyler. I'm sure you'll chime in on this too.
Oh boy. These are the ones that scare me.
Yep.
Nah, you're gonna love this one.
Oh my God.
Grand Sales and Surplus
What?
at the corner of Chicago Drive and Ivan Rest.
Grand
Drive.
sales and surplus.
The surplus store.
Oh,
Yeah.
underrated.
100%
so
underrated.
That place is
underrated.
like
That place is great.
You've never been there.
I've never been
Like
It's
there.
you
white-
walk
it
in-
is full blown white people
you
shit.
walk
Oh,
in
okay.
Harbor Freight for the first time and your life has changed, and
Yeah.
then this is the next step.
It is
Yeah,
the
it
next
is.
step of Harbor Freight.
It's like a junkyard for stores.
Yeah.
Because you just walk through it and you find gems that you don't think
Yep.
you'd ever find
What I
before.
imagine that store is like if you ever watch that Discovery show Storage Wars.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I imagine that the people that own Grand Sales and Surplus just
Overrated.
go to like automotive places and buy their leftovers.
Yeah.
And then they sell them cheap. And some of the stuff there, you don't even know why it's there.
Yeah.
But you kind of want to buy it because it's cheap.
Yep.
Yep. It's real cheap.
It's
and
like
all
a
good
flea
stuff,
market for car parts.
That sounds why.
They got some
This
good
sounds
tools.
awful.
They got
Yeah,
many
I go there just
random
to
things.
look sometimes.
like ratchet straps and stuff.
Give
They-
me a beer.
Yep.
All right,
We're
next
just
question.
generally for the
Whatever's
chat
not
going to
super
say that this
cold.
is general surplus stores since most people
Yeah,
here would
gonna
not
say
have a
that.
chance to go
What are
there.
the results?
Military surplus stores are way up there, too.
Come on,
But that being said, Facebook said 100%
Sorry.
underrated for surplus stores.
Heck yes.
And
YouTube.
YouTube says 75% underrated.
Have you guys been to the military surplus store in Grand Rapids?
I
That
have
place
not,
is cool
but
too.
I'm a big fan of those.
They have like the gutted grenades and everything.
You
and,
can get like freaking 0-degree rated boots for $3.
yeah,
Who knows?
those
I
boots will
wonder if they
literally
have any
last you
flight
forever.
suits. Those are guys that don't know, flight suits are good race suits because they're fire retardant.
This
I
is
also don't recommend that.
this
but
is equal. Like so far, this is equal to like Spec 2.2 talk for me.
It's pretty good.
No, pretty bad.
Pretty good.
This is pretty bad.
Okay, last one for Trevor.
Okay.
Is passenger wiper blades.
underrated. Nobody should have a passenger wiper
You
blade.
mean
So
overrated?
you have
Overrated.
You mean
Oh.
over?
Yeah, overrated.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
been doing this whole game wrong?
That's too much weight. That's not cool. That doesn't stick
Oh,
up straight on your
He's right.
windshield
Ounces
like
make
a
pounds.
GT 400 car.
That's why I have no wiper blades.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I'm about compromise. You know.
If I ever have to drive it in the rain, I just won't.
Anyways,
So to give you guys a drifter style thing is that you have one long wiper blade in the middle, so it gets like most of the whole thing.
it comes from like old school GT cars. They used to have one wiper blade up. I think McLaren started it
Yeah.
because
probably.
aerodynamics, it wouldn't catch any wind if it's straight up.
It makes sense. It's
And
only
then-
stupid if it don't work.
You're
It
not
kind
wrong.
of, I think the trend picked up in Japan where everyone thought it was cool, but like the Honda started it where they wanted one wiper blade, but if you put it straight up, it turns and goes all the way in and gets all pissed and freaks out. So they're all like this, and you can do one wiper blade. Usually you take your driver's wiper blade, put it on the passenger's post, block off the other one, and just set it at like a nice 45, and it'll get almost your whole windshield.
Makes sense. Because, like, my whole life, I would never buy two wiper blades at once. I just buy a new one for
Why
the
am
driver's
I not
side.
surprised?
And then
that is some Al
so
level
you
shit.
just
right there.
rotate them.
I never bought
You-
two wiper blades.
I
They're like
never
less than
did.
20
Aren't
bucks.
Aren't they
That
like
doesn't matter.
totally different lengths?
Nah, you just use one that fits both sides.
You just like split the.
You put a new one on the driver's side. You move
Someone-
the old driver to the passenger.
Someone come
and
get
you
the
just
man over
rotate them
here.
through.
Whose Al is this? Is this your? Whose Al is this?
What do we have from,
Eric, what are the
from
results?
The peanut gallery.
Okay,
Yep.
well, Facebook says 80% overrated, and YouTube right now says 54% overrated.
Yeah.
So for the most
Overrated,
part, they're
alright.
right.
YouTube, you guys understand. Facebook, you're sleeping. Figure it out, bud.
Okay. Let's go to Ryan next. You got that one ready?
Oh boy.
I believe so. Yes.
I'm pretty excited for this one because I'm going to rip your asshole for this.
Oh man, let's fucking go, homeboy. Let's do this shit.
Number
You know
one
I'm
for Ryan is turbo sizing. Because we
underrated.
talk about it and we talk about it and we talk about it, but you just can't stop yourself.
Oh no, I can. I
You
can.
can't.
No, I can.
You can't stop yourself.
I can. I've
You
done. I've
had
stopped
to
my-
have the big turbo.
No. You weren't using it anymore. So at one point, I'm like, might as well put it back on. Fuck it. Why not?
Nah, see?
Can't stop yourself.
The
No,
small,
I-
the
That's what
smaller
that
one
sounds
You
would've had-
wanted the 7670 back. What are you talking about?
I was indifferent.
Oh, you were not indifferent. You said you wanted it back.
I was
dude.
totally
I'm
indifferent.
gonna fight that. I will throw this chair at you.
You're like,
You-
hey, I'm only going to make 600. Let's put the bigger turbo that can do it on.
Only yeah. Oh my God! Listen, you know you're not telling the truth right now because you said you
I'm
wanted it back.
mostly telling the truth.
Yeah, so you're leaving some shit out. Listen, it is underrated. We talk about turbo size and doing what you want, and A374 actually did pretty dang well.
I specifically remember you saying, I want the big boy.
That is embellishing. That is not embellishing.
I
That is,
am gonna go with put it back on a Z57 and have a day.
Z57.
You shut up.
I mean, I'm still going to tell him to shut up, but he's not completely
I'm not wrong.
No, he is wrong.
No,
He is
I ain't wrong.
The spool of that thing.
No.
is-
Do you
Yeah.
understand how much shit I would have to change back to do that?
I mean,
2 things.
No, 4 things. That meant 4.
He did a lot of things.
A lot of stuff.
We literally work at ZZPerformance.
I know that, but
You
no.
can change those
I'm
one
not
thing.
wrong.
I'm tired of working on. No, that car needs to get up and drive and just be fun.
What are the results, Eric?
All right. YouTube for turbo sizing says 60% underrated.
I'm ashamed of
Good.
you.
good job.
And Facebook says 100% underrated.
Thank you, Facebook.
There you go.
They're all saying underrated, so that's good.
Where's the snowball? It's
in the back here.
20 feet
Like-
that way.
Yep.
And my sister, if you think you're keeping the Cruze for a while, we can tune it. We can make it a little faster.
We can make it a lot faster.
Need
Wait,
more.
because race car is.
She says she needs more oomph.
Like a tube Manny and a 5751.
Can we don't? I mean, because race car, I think that's
We could spray it.
We could spray it.
because that's I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, I'm bad because he doesn't have his real name in here. It's Regal. Regal?
Oh?
No. Regal in the back.
Because
The
race
customer.
car.
Greg,
Great.
Yeah, his car's here right now.
What's his last name?
We're
What
gonna
are we
spray
ta-
that one.
what are we talking about?
No, no.
What
what's
are
his
we
name?
putting nitrous on?
Greg.
It's Greg.
Greg, what's his
We're
last
not going to say
Hart,
last
yeah, Greg
names,
Hart,
you know.
yeah, that.
Greg
Oh,
Hart.
why not?
Or we are.
So anyway,
I
yeah,
guess.
Greg, you
Oh yeah,
literally
we're gonna
passed
say
by.
last names, addresses, social security number, all that.
You literally
Yep.
passed by when you're here, but
Yep.
Just so for those of you listening, that should have been completely 100% underrated. So anyone who voted overrated,
yeah.
I'm ashamed of you.
Yep.
And just stop.
Last time I heard Greg Hart's mad at me anyway because I
And
told
here
him
we
that
are.
You
his,
just said his.
what? I said his
Yeah,
last name like 5 times.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
he was meaning to.
Yeah.
I didn't
Anyway,
understand.
he's mad at me because I told him his intercooler wasn't busted, and he said he's real mad at me. He told Tim that he's gonna call Better Business Bureau on me. Ooh, did I call him out a little bit?
A little bit.
You guys ready for next question?
Let's go.
Yep.
Good luck. Okay, we're still on Ryan.
Yep.
So, number 2,
Oh yeah.
overrated or underrated?
Oh, here we go.
Animal reproductive systems.
Oh my God. Why are you doing this? to
I
me?
couldn't stop myself.
Okay.
I have an answer for this, but I'll wait to hear yours.
Okay. So, for the background here, I'm just gonna say,
It's
guys.
so much funnier to see it pop up on the screen.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh my God. Guys.
Ooh,
So,
underrated. All right, here we go.
So to let everyone know, my profession before this, I was actually into zoology and a zookeeper at Chicago's Brookfield Zoo. So I'm know animals, and I happen to unfortunately know a lot about animal reproductive systems. So a few of my friends and the customers have found out. So I get random questions about animal stuff. I will say, because I know how important animals are to existence on the earth, underrated. Animal reproductive systems are underrated because we are also animals.
That's true. And what I was gonna say is, I also think they're underrated, because when you take it on just like a scientific, like completely surface level, it's pretty fascinating.
They are. It is actually, their animals are very mechanical is the right word, but biological is the correct word. But I'll say
Yeah.
mechanical. They're very
Yeah.
mechanical about how they choose their mates and how they
Yeah.
actually go about reproducing. And it's just,
I'm just talking about the differences in function.
the difference function
Like,
is actually huge.
the example when I wrote this question for the overrated and underrated,
about the chickens.
that was the chickens versus ducks.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're very over in terms of the entire animal kingdom. They're very similar animals, but you have chickens who reproduce the same way NASCAR fills gas tanks. Like, you just line it up and fire.
The ducks are different.
And ducks have like a
Corkscrew.
8-foot-long corkscrew.
Yep.
Yep.
Ducks have screws.
Yeah.
Adam Project knows.
It's like, it's so weird. It's bizarre. I don't understand it. It's so crazy.
Yep, agreed.
Well, yeah, I figured you guys watching would enjoy that.
Oh,
Yep.
boy.
All right, so animal reproductive systems. The chat says 75% overrated
How are they overrated?
on Facebook,
You guys,
and 67% underrated
I am
on YouTube.
disappointed anyone that said overrated.
Interesting split.
Yeah,
Yeah, split between-
Why is it overrated? Like everything, if you want to see a dog has to reproduce to see more dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get
Knowledge is power.
it. I don't get it.
All right. Number 3 for Ryan,
Oh God.
specifically because I found out about this like 15 minutes before we came up here.
Oh boy.
Air conditioning.
Overrated. Underrated.
So
Underrated.
underrated.
Air conditioners are always freaking underrated.
Like, we've struggled through this podcast, but you guys don't understand.
It's pretty warm up here.
It's pretty.
It's bad.
pretty hot.
I mean,
also,
obviously,
they
I
just
handle
learned.
heat pretty good. I'm just saying I handle heat pretty good.
Ryan
but-
and I are the only two people at the shop that understand the race car thing. You turn your AC off.
Yeah.
Everyone's telling us they rock around with their windows down and AC on. What are you guys
What
doing?
are you talking about? Well, I don't get it. Nope.
What are you doing?
PCM turns your air
I don't
conditioning
care.
off at what?
Light
Yeah.
speed. You.
We have the technology.
No, light speed. When you've seen the meme. All systems transfer all power to all life reserve power to thrusters.
Yep.
You turn your AC off and yep.
You turn the radio off, AC off, vents off.
Tell me you're a nerd without telling me you're a nerd.
Oh, I'll tell you. Oh, I'm a nerd. No, listen. You know, like when you're like going to a new place with GPS. What's the first thing you fucking do when you get close? You turn the fucking radio down, don't you?
Well, yeah,
pass it.
because you
always-
can't see while
can't
you're here.
see while
That's
you're
just
here.
science.
That's true. That's science.
I'm just saying.
We can't get past that.
You,
so
you
know.
just you,
Dude, I dyno cars with the AC on, the windows up. I don't give a shit. The PCM turns it off when you floor it anyway.
I don't believe you.
care.
I know
It
you-
does, because by the end of the
I-
pole, you can smell the humidity coming
Oh, yeah.
in.
Yeah.
I believe you, but I don't believe you.
Dude, have you seen me?
I
believe you,
but I don't.
I
believe
won't trust it in
Yeah.
my own car.
So Monday, when we come back to work, I want you to take a sweater vest and put it underneath your T-shirt.
Yep.
And then tell me how well you handle the heat.
Stop.
Because, like, my shirt doesn't touch my
We got
body.
an air bath for you, homeboy.
Nope, not doing that again.
Again.
What are the results, Eric?
All right, results for AC. And I will just say, quick note, I am one of those people who will roll my windows down and have my AC on at the
Me
same time.
Yes,
Dude.
it's so good.
that guy.
It feels so
Is
good.
he on your,
It's
he's
a great,
Subaru guy,
it
right?
feels like a
Okay.
cool breeze
He's
blowing
Subaru.
in.
I need
He's
that.
Subaru
out
guy?
the window.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, he's on the Subaru. Whoever's
get
on,
the fresh
whoever takes
air.
Subaru guys, Eric's on your team now. He's not on our
All
team.
right. What do we
Anyway, air conditioning, 100% Facebook underrated.
got? Yep.
Good.
It should
be. YouTube, 73% underrated. So there's some people who say,
Who the hell
Okay,
So
okay.
it's
No,
overrated.
I see one. Rhett. Okay, Rhett. Why? Why would you choose?
He said, I
paint?
can't live
Oh,
without
can't.
it.
I'm sorry. I said I can't see for
Oh,
shit. every
okay.
day.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I said
We
can't.
won't kill you now.
Yeah, Rhett, you're good. Never mind. I thought you said like dude.
That 27% that voted overrated, though.
Yeah.
I
Guys.
didn't know we had that many viewers in the North Pole.
Yeah.
So apparently YouTube doesn't know how to do math because 73 and 26 is 99.
That is 99%.
So is 66 and 33.
Huh.
That's weird. But no,
Not my
I
fault.
don't understand. Like, why would you? It's
The
like
Russians.
it's Russians. Like, are people that into masochism? Like, do they just want to feel themselves feel pain and
That's
sweat?
probably it.
Yeah.
The overrated people were sadomasochists.
Yeah,
could
There you
be.
go. We know. We now know. Science.
Well, if you want to hate yourself, we'll hate you too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, Fred. AC off, quarter tank at a time.
There we
He
go.
understands.
Except for in Cobalt.
Except for in
Yeah,
Delta chassis
except I
cars.
guess you can't do that on a Delta chassis.
Welcome to Delta Chassis 101.
Okay, let's move on.
Tyler.
All right, here I
In
am.
light of recent events and your recent change up with some race events that you've gone to, I want to hear the overrated, underrated opinion of manual transmissions.
Ooh,
Three
that's a good
pedals.
one.
That's
That's
That
a
is
good one.
Yeah.
one.
That's a good one.
You have
Because
to
you've
do
done the
things.
same course.
Yeah.
I'm
both.
going to chime in on that afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm going to still go with underrated.
Yeah.
Manual transmissions?
Manual
I'm
transmissions.
going to go with
underrated.
overrated. I'm going to go with overrated. Specifically reason. Okay.
I don't think either of you are wrong.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
because
either way
it's
is
going
wrong.
to be two completely different contexts.
So I love a manual transmission. I think they're fun. They're enjoyable. Everything about them is like the Snowball. I would not have it as an auto, but I use the ATS as an example. The ATS is a perfect
That's a
example.
good
Yeah, it is.
Um,
Yeah.
Modern transmissions, like okay, I learned to hate automatic transmissions from the 4T65.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're awful. They're 4 speeds. They're slush boxes.
Yeah.
But modern transmissions are amazing. I rode. I don't know if Shane's watched, but I rode Shane's ATS-V, and that thing, like it shifts super fast.
Yeah.
It sounds cool.
Yeah.
It's you just
Yep.
you floor it, you get on it, and then it slows down, and it's still a Cadillac. Like it's amazing. Like. Don't get me wrong, like the gearing and stuff like that, and it can be fun. Like for instance, Tim's ATS-V is a manual, and it's fun. Like you get the rev match downshifts, and it sounds cool, and you feel connected with the car. But like there's some days I get up, I'm like, man, I do not want to it's just
Yeah.
just a little extra.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Just like some days you get in, like for instance, the Auto RS. Like sometimes you've driven it home.
Yep.
It's just nice to get in.
It is. It's nice.
It is. Yeah.
The Camaro, same thing.
In the
Or even my stupid ass Element.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The specific reason that you referenced was same track, two cars, totally different setups. One's turbo, rear-wheel drive, modern, auto. The other one is old, supercharged, manual, like front-wheel drive car.
Yep.
I went faster by almost 2 seconds in the Camaro
With the auto.
with the auto. But the Cobalt is more fun to drive
Yes,
Right.
I can
Yep.
see that 100%.
because the Camaro, you get in it, and you just point and shoot.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, yeah, I drive it in manual mode, and you tap up and down, but it denies your shifts and all this. Doesn't matter. It's still fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Cobalt, you have to wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you got to wheel that thing.
It's
It's a
rewarding.
raw-
It's
a
rewarding.
Yes.
That's what it is.
It's a very raw
rewarding.
feeling.
Like, you cut 0.2 off of your time, and you get in and you take your helmet out, and you're like, woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good woo.
That was good.
You get done with the Camaro, and you run a little faster, and you're like, yeah,
Yeah. No, I
kind of figured it.
and I can get that too. Like I do
So-
understand. Like
Dailies, overrated. Race cars, underrated.
Yep.
Nice.
but see, like, but even still, like racing for like performance wise, but the actual feel of the car, I can understand both. Like,
Yeah,
I,
well,
yeah.
especially
I-
drag now.
I feel like mine
Autos
tends to
are
be
faster.
Yeah.
Mine tends to be faster if it was an auto.
One of the reasons I threw that in there is because the answer heavily depends on the context.
Yes.
Yeah.
As much as everyone likes to talk shit on them, power glides go real fast.
They go real fast.
Yeah.
It's
They do.
just we will never be able to shift them, and then it just does its job. What we
Yeah.
we can't outshift them.
Or
And-
or even a better example would be like a really modern dual clutch auto.
yeah,
Yeah, like the new
GTRs and
Audis.
shit. Yeah, the new Audis.
Yeah.
Just
You're not going to manually
Like,
shift
yeah.
faster
Yeah.
than that thing can.
No.
there's no
exactly.
way.
And then
But if the whole reason you're racing is to have fun,
the manual.
I'm taking a manual trans
But
every
see,
day.
Yep.
one of my favorite things to do still, like, again, I have Fast and Furious dreams, like the song, oh yeah, you know? That's like one of my favorite cruising songs. I will take the snowball out and cruise that just going nowhere, just shifting, trying to rev match downshift. It's
Yep.
so fun and so engaging.
Yep.
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 I will
I had
never
a
trade it.
lot of 2 a.m. cruises in my Ion.
Yeah.
It just gives you something.
It gives
that
you something.
an auto
So.
can't. Anyway,
Yes.
What
Next
are
question.
the,
Next
the
one. Or what are the
peanut galleries?
results?
Yeah. So for the 3 people actually participating on Facebook,
Ah.
I
so
appreciate it.
calling you out, Facebook, get fucking vote.
Yeah.
100% say underrated
good.
for manual transmissions, and for YouTube, 80% say underrated.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Next question.
All right. Next one for Tyler. Hand me down slicks.
Ah, underrated.
It's
100%. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Hand me down slicks.
I put
I
those
don't have a-
6-year-old slicks on the Cobalt this past Wednesday and probably had the most fun I have in a long time.
I can't say he's wrong.
They grip. They keep
Old
going.
slicks is better than new
No
all
slick.
seasons.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Can we
100%.
segue that? Can we segue that real quick? I swear to God, if y'all don't stop coming here on some crappy all seasons, stop driving your nice fun
Yeah.
cars on all seasons, I will slap the shit out of y'all.
It drives me so insane.
Yep.
Stop.
All
Bru-
season is
all
the best
seasons
season.
are the
You-
notes. Shut up.
Pay us to build your car to make 400 wheel, and,
And
you've
you
got
show up on 225
some
all seasons.
Michelin 600 treadwear 215 having ass.
Yeah. Joe, 215 all season Yokohama fucking looking ass
Yeah.
bitches.
No.
What do you mean my car only made 400? I wanted it to make 450. Dude, your tires can't hook 300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you complaining about?
All seasons.
Yeah.
All seasons or no seasons.
Exactly.
Yes.
Ryan likes to slap people a lot. Yes. Yes, I do.
That's true. He likes to slap his own hand, too.
All right, Eric. What are the results? And then we all have to come up with one for L. So
Oh, one?
start
Alright.
thinking.
I'm going
One
3.
each.
Oh, one each. Okay.
Yep.
All right, hand me down slicks on Facebook. Once again, 100% underrated
Yep.
according to the
Good.
3 people
Good.
who
Good.
care.
Good.
I've already got mine.
And then on YouTube, 86% underrated as well. So
Nice.
everybody's pretty much going in line with the general consensus. Today.
That's fair.
All right.
All right.
All right,
Wow.
last one for Tyler. I
Oh.
have one left. That was only 2.
Oh,
okay.
I thought
All
it was
This
four.
one will be fairly quick, but I felt it was very important
Yes.
due to some current life situations that I've been going through and trying to make some changes in my
We're getting a
dietary
little
consumption.
too deep here, don't you think?
I'll just
Anyway.
preface
Yeah,
this
we
next
are.
one by saying
So
that
number
I don't
3
expect anybody to know what this is.
Oh, but they're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
at ranch_around the world.
What?
Underrated.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Is that like an Instagram account?
It is an Instagram account at branch_around the world.
Yep.
So by the way, guys,
Follow it.
later this year,
Live it, love it.
later this year, Trevor will be tattooing a bottle of ranch on Al's little
Ass.
hole stamp.
Live
area.
on the podcast.
Live on the podcast.
He just got to get the design done.
So yeah, Al loves ranch and he drinks it by the gallon. It's fucking
Yep.
disgusting. This is.
I don't make the rules. I just follow them.
Ranch around the world is underrated.
So underrated.
So underrated.
Overrated. Anyway, all right, Al. You're
Yes.
done. I'm going first.
Yeah, we're not going to give you any more information on that. You got to go follow them on Instagram.
Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a waste of
Yes,
time.
please do it.
Don't do it.
Actually, I'm putting the link in for context.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
don't put it
Thank
in.
you.
Eric, damn
Hell
it,
yeah.
Eric, brother.
See,
Eric
Eric is on team.
Eric
Ranch.
is going to love every one of you.
What you got, Ryan?
All right, so Al, from our experiences just a few days ago, power steering, underrated or overrated?
Frick, underrated. Goodness gracious. I know ounces make pounds, but man, I've
Oh, yeah.
thought long and hard about throwing that motor back in there.
All I'm saying is, so guys, for context, it was me and Noah that went to check with these guys at Berlin, and Al, we were just shaking
Yep.
his car
Yep.
down. Al has a 330 millimeter aftermarket steering wheel
Yep.
because he wanted to just be as light as possible.
Ounces make pounds.
But he doesn't. He forgot that with no power
Then
steering,
put your hands closer.
you put your hands closer. You're doing this the entire time, and it's a lot of movement.
It was like, I was telling Tyler earlier, it was like the feedback from a sim racing steering wheel times 10.
Yeah.
Like
so you
it,
like hit it and then, whoa.
Well, no, just the boost comes in and it wants to go left, and you're trying to turn right, and the car's going
Yeah. The entire
Nope.
time. So.
So yeah, for those of you guys that aren't up to speed, the Honey Badger did finally hit the strip for the
Yep.
first time in 3 years.
Yep. It's a big day for
on
us.
Wednesday night. I only got 2 passes in because Martin.
Sucks.
I hope some of your crew is watching here. Step up your game, run cars through faster.
Yep.
Like, it's
Takes-
ridiculous.
We
So
don't have to
long.
wait 2.5 minutes after they get to the end.
I was there for 5 hours and made 2 passes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's how it goes.
Anyway, the car, everything on the car's new. I just wanted to make sure that it drove straight, the brakes worked, I felt safe in the car. Goal accomplished. It ran a 12.9 at 124.
Yep.
Blowing the tires off in first, granny shifting, bogging. Absolutely, completely trash pass. I am
Yeah.
not trying to fool anyone. I have so much to learn with driving that
Yeah.
car. The car
It's
is
the-
way faster than I'm capable of driving it.
Way
right now.
faster, way newer. Like the car's a totally different setup.
Yes.
It's everything is different. And for context, guys, so I don't want to hear anyone trying to talk shit about that time or anything.
Oh, don't worry. Andrew James already did.
What?
Oh, but duh.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, stop talking about stupid people. Dude, like Al was going there because he hasn't driven the car in 3 years.
3
He has
years.
I've come back every night for like 2 years to lock up the shop and help him, and I help out where I could because Al is getting his car up. He did a shakedown. He's going to go to a half mile
That's
again.
literally what
Yeah.
it was, a
Andrew, yes.
shakedown.
Yeah.
I was making sure that the car didn't shake itself apart.
Yes. So
Yep.
that is
The weekend from tomorrow, we're going to go back to the strip. And
Yep.
we're going to actually try to go quick with the
yeah.
car.
Yep.
So that's the thing. So guys,
And
remember,
I'm
like,
gonna go faster in a Sonic.
I'm going to kick your
Oh.
ass.
there it is. You heard it here, folks. Sonic versus Honey
Can we
Badger.
line them up next week?
We are going to line them up.
Oh,
Oh, buddy.
Tyler,
I don't
you
wanna
know
see.
you
I'm
can't.
gonna get my slapping hands out.
Oh, and
Tyler,
you
light
better
of
put
the-
them in your pockets.
Tyler,
in light of the same subject.
you can't talk shit to your tuner. You're gonna get like negative timing now.
Yeah.
I'll
that is
I'll
true.
just block off the OBD port. He
Okay.
can't get in there. He can't get in there.
Next question, Al. Underrated, overrated? Caster.
What? Oh,
Caster.
What?
That's a good
weird-
one.
That's a really interesting question. Okay.
In light of suspension.
Yep.
Since this is
I'm going to have to say underrated.
Yeah,
Quite
yeah.
a bit underrated. I did expect a little more out of the caster mods that I did
Mostly
to my car.
just because I wanted to hear what you thought.
yeah.
I expected more, but I did have pretty high hopes.
But the self-steer wasn't what you wanted?
It wasn't,
Wasn't quite Matt's car.
but the car's 400 pounds lighter than it was before.
Yep.
Yep. And slicks and
And-
Also,
power.
you didn't have your front bumper on.
If
so
you guys
that-
don't
And
know,
I didn't have the front bumper on. So
Al
the
made
arrow-
custom control arms and spindles and a bunch of stuff for his car to
Yep.
get
some
crazy
caster
caster.
out of
Yeah.
it. Yeah, the tire's like shoved way forward in the tire well. It looks kind of weird. But
Bumper
hey,
barely-
function
barely
over
fits.
form.
Yep.
I do think it helped though, because while there was a significant amount of torque steer, it was consistent and manageable.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really think that if I just get a larger steering wheel to literally just give me
Yes.
more torque on the steering arm,
It'll
I
be
think
better.
it'll be fine.
Fun fact. So standard steering wheels that most of the people get are 350 millimeters. I have one. Trevor has
Yep.
one. Tyler doesn't have one. He's not part of the Cool Kids Club yet.
330 is my favorite.
330 is your favorite? That's what Al has. They make 390 mils. That's like fucking 15 inches.
Dude, I was looking on Momo's website. They make 410s.
Whew.
That's like
That's
a
like
frickin'
this.
semi wheel.
Freaking semi wheel.
I need one of them.
Oh my god. You won't be able to. You'll hit your knees.
Maybe,
Oh
Yep.
god. Oh.
but I won't
okay.
fall out.
You won't fall out.
Anyways, Tyler,
All right,
you
Tyler.
got one on deck?
All right. Overrated, underrated.
Make it a good one. I want to talk some shit.
Racing the Honey Badger over the Sonic.
Ooh.
Oh.
I know it's been a minute.
Oh. Basically, what Tyler says is, I know you run a slower tire than me in the Sonic. That's what Tyler. This is Tyler. Tyler says you're slower than me in the Sonic and slower than me in the Ion. So which one do you think is better? He said I didn't say that. shit.
I'm just saying
What?
what.
That's what he
The
said.
context that you just put behind his words makes me want to knock him out of his chair.
I didn't say shit.
I'm not sure exactly how to answer just based on how you phrased the question.
Can't ride the
It didn't.
fence.
It didn't really work with the overrated,
It kind of
underrated.
sounds
but,
more
you
like
know,
a would you
No,
rather.
okay.
than
No,
a-
hold on. So he's saying underrated, overrated, racing the Ion over the Sonic.
over the Sonic. Yes, that's a
Steven
better.
says,
like
you just
comparison.
broke
So we
an
got
L.
like 3 positives and negative. You got to add them up here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say underrated because the Sonic
All right.
is
all right.
not easy to drive.
No.
That's why I'm dragging Tyler's ass back to the track next weekend so we can get some seat time in before the cool weather hits.
Yep. It's been a minute.
But it's definitely easier than the Honey Badger.
Oh, well,
Honey Badger
like-
is
yeah.
a handful.
The back half on that car was friggin' nuts.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of practice to do to drive that car.
Yep.
And you're building it for a half mile, which is
Twice
all
as long.
back half.
Which is all back half. So I love quarter mile because it's so much more accessible.
It is
and you can
accessible.
do it
Yep.
more. You can get more practice in. And I was talking to Tyler about this. The fastest I've ever gone in the quarter mile was the 12.9 that I ran in the Sonic when we were still running the V3. When I ran a 12
Yeah.
before heated.
That's pretty crazy.
I like
that
that little
was-
jab in there. I like that
Yeah.
little jab.
And that was a year and 3 days before we finally got the Honey Badger to the strip.
Really?
Yep.
Yep.
And that
Wow.
was the last time that I ever made a full pass in
Yeah.
a car. As I took the Sonic to the track a couple times when Tyler's busy, but just either broke axles or
Yeah.
missed shifts, or it was a complete waste of a day.
Yep.
I do also want to say that, I mean, a memory came up for me. Tyler, stop touching it.
I didn't mean to.
Put your hands in your pockets.
It's supposed to
It
be
is.
all
It
run
is
up.
almost.
That's
So we
fine.
had a memory today of like kind of when we had the EFR turbos lined up.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was 2
That was
years
2
ago.
years
today,
ago.
And it was
Yeah.
like this same week, and it took 2 years after that to get the car.
Yeah.
You guys and your big
Yeah,
turbos.
so like if anyone wants to talk shit on my 12.9 at 124, I do not care.
Yeah. Like
Like I went to the track just so that I could get the car under power and make sure that the car felt safe.
It didn't kill you.
It happened
Yep.
to trap 124 with no bumper. Awesome.
people don't like the new bumper that people haven't seen. It's
Yeah.
huge.
And
Yeah.
it back half 33 mile an hour.
That's
Yeah, back
especially
half.
for
Pretty good.
for doing a guys. He's also on a standalone. He's having to make every table and do everything himself.
Everything is new.
So yeah.
Yep.
So like, I'm happy to tell people that it didn't go super fast because I want people to understand that quarter mile racing is not just about building a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to drive your car, and every car is different.
Well, also it's the fact that the car right now, to be honest, it's not fully set for as like a specific drag car. It's a half mile car right now.
No, and if I
Yeah.
set it up a little different, the car itself with a perfect driver could easily go like a 10.8 on
Yeah.
the current power.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's
I can't do that yet,
Yeah.
but I'm going to.
But that's the thing. Like again, we have people get big turbo sets. Oh, I set my car for highway. But why does it do show sitting in the eighth? Cars have to be set up to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Your car right now, you're doing it very purpose built, and you're making it better. That's a lot of people that don't race and they just the GTRs and they just watch 1320 all day thinking you go out of the box fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that way, guys.
We don't work on those conventional cars like
Yeah.
racing the stuff that we drive.
Like,
takes
I
a lot
didn't build a freaking Ion because I wanted to be the fastest person on Earth.
Yeah.
of, yeah,
That'd be the worst choice in the history of
that'd
choices.
be so dumb.
Yeah.
I did it because it's a chance for me to learn.
Yeah. And
That's why I'm putting 3 turbos on the friggin' car.
yeah.
It's
Chance
not
to
because
learn.
it's the best choice. It's because I want to do it. I want to learn.
and support the
I want to
platform.
make it work.
Yeah.
And it's
I want
gonna
to
be
take
fun.
this car to the track, and I want to learn how to make it faster. I want to learn how to drive it. I want to learn how to tweak the suspension, set up the wheelie bar, change the preload. Like, that is what I love doing.
If you
Yep.
never stop learning.
Exactly.
We like learning
so
here.
we're always learning too. Actually, a good one to end on too for all of us, I think, because we had a customer ask it. I think it's pretty good, overrated, underrated.
Yep.
So Fred Nugent. Sorry
Nugent.
Sorry if I butchered your name. He says, I think
I
it's
hope
big-
you're related to Ted.
He says E85 overrated or
So
underrated.
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 Underrated?
We're lucky because
Of
we
course.
live around it. Every gas station
Yeah.
has it. Pretty
I'm,
much here,
also
so-
going to agree, even being Mr. DI, Mr. Direct Injection, underrated.
Underrated.
100%.
100%.
I
Yep.
will
It
take.
is
I will
by
take.
and far the poor man's race gas.
Yeah.
The
I will,
only downfall is it's hard to find, and we don't have that problem. So
Yeah.
you
That's
can't really.
legitimately it. Like it's race gas. It helps. It's
If
resist
I
knock.
did not have ethanol available, I would not be wasting my time on a 4-cylinder.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
Yeah,
fully admit
yeah.
that.
V8 93.
Yep.
Like
They make ton of power with turbo. Yeah. Like E85, I will always push people for for E85 100% of the time.
105%.
If someone say, "Hey, would you do meth or E85?" I'm like, "E85, set your car for E85, run it,
Yep.
tank, be consistent, have fun."
Yep.
All right, guys, we got to wrap this up. We are way over time.
And I am
But-
way too sweaty to stay
Yeah.
up here any longer.
I'd love
I'm
to
not-
hang out with you guys longer.
Yep.
It's always a good time. It's hard to leave, but
Black
we'll
people
see you next week.
benefits.
Black people benefits
So thanks for talking about coilovers.
Yep.
and
And,
suspension.
Oh,
For a
yeah.
little bit.
I forgot we started on coilovers.
That's why I tried to do all the stuff.
You guys have a good weekend.
Par for the course.
Bye.
Love you,
Flip.
Oh, Ryan D at ZZP.
Tyler V at ZZP.
That's right.